Welcome to Packmates, a podcast about Magic the Gathering Limited, where we take a dive into the current limited formats. The Packmates are a group of friendly card sharks that love drafting, hanging out and going to F&M. Don't forget to check out our socials and join our Discord. Links are all in the description, and I'm Robi, the resident Dirtle expert.
I'm Andrew, the mid-range expert.
And I'm Ryan, the resident aggro expert.
Mm.
We are the
Well,
Packmates.
Got 'em. And we got all our socials. So yeah, I'm not reading those.
What are we talking about this week, Roby?
I want to talk about Spiritmonger. I feel like I was lied to. Low key, like all the boomers were telling me, "Oh, you gotta pick Spiritmonger. It's so good. It's unkillable. It's gotta regenerate. Oh, it's so good." I just feel like I was aggressively lied to. Like
It was a trap.
it was a hard try. Like I normally ignore everything that the boomers tell me, but like they got me with this one.
Well, like this would be a good card in today's Magic, right? Like
yeah, like if you have ways to give things trample and like Chainer's Edict isn't in the format. And like it doesn't really even matter if your guy has regenerate if Chainer's Edicts in the
you just have to have more than one creature, Roby.
yeah, you have to have more than one of them, so you only have to
any
sacrifice
creature.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this guy's great. I remember Apocalypse.
not
drafted
good.
This guy's insane. Boomers.
He's so
Yeah.
mid. Yeah, this is the Andrew card. Yeah, I'm just Spiritmonger's the 5-mana 6/6 that whenever he deals damage to a creature, put a +1/+1 counter on it,
Ooh.
and it doesn't matter.
And he has
It's got
regeneration as well.
yeah with the black mana. Yeah,
Yeah, a single black mana.
but the problem is that like Mog War Marshal like blanks this forever.
Battle
Right, like
Street.
a single Mog War Marshal blocks this for 3 turns. Like what do you do? Like
But then
how do you even beat that?
But then it becomes a 9/9.
Yeah, and then they just play like they could be doing like literally anything. If they play like a Mog War Marshal, like you just like literally it's like a time walk for your Spiritmonger for 3 turns.
Empty the Warrens with 1 storm count.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, like
destroys
blanks it. Yeah, literally. Like it's so bad, right? Oh, I feel so lied to though. Yeah, I had a
Would
deck with 3
you
Spiritmongers.
rather hardcast Spiritmonger or Street Wraith?
Street Wraith.
Wow.
Street Wraith is better.
That feels
Hardcast
pretty
Street Wraith. I feel you, Ryan. It was the best card in your deck.
Hey, that might be a little wrong.
You know what bodied me so hard? That terrible 3/5 card. It's like a 3/5. It's an eye horror, and it can only be blocked by walls.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, that card bodied my Spiritmongers. like it's a 3/5 that can't be blocked. Like you would think my giant 9/9 Spiritmonger that they've been chump blocking for 30
That man
turns.
is actually a 3/6.
Doesn't it have to
3/6.
attack alone as well?
Huh?
Yeah, it has to. Oh no, only eye creatures can touch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you have multiples,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, they can't be blocked.
What a terrible format when you're just getting beat down by
I'm
3/6
over it.
unblockables.
I'm over it.
I really didn't like it. I felt like it was not made to be drafted. It was not that fun. It was made to just like bring back nostalgia, and that
For a
was
time period that I wasn't even born yet.
yeah, like for a time that I didn't play Magic. So
Really?
To me,
man,
it
I
was
loved
just
it.
really-
I thought it was great. I had a lot of nostalgia pops for this. It was a lot of fun. Oh
yeah. Of course, Andrew loves it.
I got to play all my favorite cards.
I
feel
didn't
like-
get to play a nutty mono blue deck with 14 lands. It was real stupid.
I feel like
But,
Time
yeah.
Spiral Remastered was just significantly better.
It was funner. I feel
draft.
like the archetypes were funner.
Yeah.
Like the cycling, like they put Storm and everything. They're kind of ruining it.
Yeah, but it didn't have any spirit mongers in Time Spiral Remastered.
Yeah.
So
Which is why it was
it
good.
wasn't as good.
There was no high tide in
Yeah,
and
no high tide.
Time Spiral.
No making
Remastered.
4 birds for 1 card.
Yeah,
That-
Battle Screech is really stupid. Yeah, Battle Screech is real dumb for sure.
no floodgate.
Not only does Battle Screech stop your Spirit Monger for 4 turns, it also does 6 damage to you while it's doing it.
Yeah, literally. It feels like the cards are like so not balanced. Like
Yeah.
there's like disgusting unbeatable bombs like Flame Tongue Kavu. And then there's like Spirit Mongers who just like sit on the board and literally do nothing.
Yeah. For the same price as Battle Screech, I can play a 2/1 for 4 that makes you discard a card.
Yeah, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
Right? Like the difference in power is just egregious. I don't know. Like this is a set that if you wanted to draft and do well in, if you had studied it, you would have just bodied everyone. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
if you sat down and studied it, you could easily win these drafts, especially early, because no one else is really going to be doing that. I don't think.
Yeah, counterspell is stupid. Well, last week I had to play against someone playing the mono blue don't tap your lands deck. It wasn't mono blue, it was the mirror. And it was probably like the most stressful game of Magic I've ever played in my entire life. It was like Cloud of Fairies, go. Like I was like, oh gosh, I know you have like 9,000 counter spells. Because I didn't see like it was a person right next to me, and I didn't see like an entire blue card for like the entire draft, basically. So yeah. Yep. Spearmonger's trash. Boomer. Only boomers like it. Yep. So what do we got next, Ryan? What else do we need to talk about?
We need to talk
Dominaria
about
Remastered's trash.
the cat. Yeah. I mean, like, if you
It's
played a
all
long
trash.
time ago and you wanted a nostalgia trip, like, I'm sure it was fun. I just wish it was balanced slightly better. That's all. Like,
Everything was bad.
it was worthwhile to do it once, right?
Every card
Yeah.
that was bad. It was
Every
perfectly-
card wasn't bad. Some cards were like just won the game.
Ooh, yeah.
Ryan didn't
opposite.
play it in that. Ryan only dropped this once, right? Me
Oh,
and
yeah.
Andrew
Yeah, I
both
did.
drafted it 3 times.
We did.
And I'm significantly over it. Yeah.
Yeah. But like
was thinking
Battle
you
Screech
ready
can
for
just
the
win the
fourth
game
draft.
by itself. Like there's so many cards that just win the game by themselves. There's not so many, but they're
Slice
just
and Dice
so
is a hell of a card, man.
yeah. That's
Mhm.
good. For 6, you can wipe the board, kind of. Yeah.
Actually, more than 3.
You know what card I do love in this format though?
Uh.
Floodgate. That's like my favorite Magic card though. No, that card's so stupid. Do you know what that is, Ryan?
No.
It's 05 wall that if it has flying, it just automatically dies for some reason. I have no idea why
Gates
that's
can't
a thing.
That's funny.
If it gets flying, it just automatically dies.
Flavor,
But then
baby.
whenever it leaves the battlefield, it deals half of the amount of islands you control in damage to every non-blue creature without flying.
Because you're lifting the floodgate, right? You're letting all the
Yeah,
water in.
yeah,
Hey, let's
Yeah,
talk.
it's
That's
sick.
super flavorful.
yeah, it's sick. It was
Yeah.
actually really fun.
Gate loses its purpose if it's flying,
Well, does
right?
it? Yeah, it still loses the battle screech, right? But
Yeah,
it's
because it
sick,
doesn't
yeah.
get flyers.
Um,
All right.
So next up, we're going to talk about the Decathlon finals.
Ooh,
I
very
like the idea of everyone having a shared sealed pool.
I did too. I thought it was fun.
Yeah, but I didn't like the execution of the pool, honestly. Like,
I
it
thought
didn't feel...
okay. It was rock, paper, scissors, honestly.
It was just kind of... Nah, not really. Because, like, it was just kind of like the black, green, blue good stuff deck was just, like, gonna win a good portion of the games. Like, there was just too much green, black, blue good stuff.
I didn't have that problem. I think you're tripping.
I mean, I
I
had
think
that
the green was a
problem.
little too strong. I think green is really the problem. Like the green was just too strong. Like it felt like every green card was just a like disgusting bomb, right? And they had like low drops too. They had like what is it? What's the 2-mana card I'm thinking of?
It felt like curated, but like in like somewhat tested, but it felt like no one that tested it ever thought like, what if we just ran all the good stuff?
Yeah. It looks like there
That's
was
not
just a bunch of
really.
pre-con decks that
I
they had
know.
made. Like if you look at all the 2-color decks, you had to add all the colors that were 2 colors to make a full deck, right?
Yeah, like almost every card.
Yeah, in every card. So you had like basically pre-constructed decks in there, and they made a pool, and so you could either make a 3-color deck because they put the tri-lands in there. So it's like you were kind of pigeonholed into a certain strategy if you went 2-color, like as to whatever the pre-constructed deck was.
Yeah, I do kind of wish that it was a little bit deeper.
Yeah,
I feel like
Honestly.
if they would have picked 12 packs and they could be same set or different sets or whatever, and just open 12 packs and that's the pool for everyone, that would be almost just as fun, if not probably more fun.
Yeah.
Just because like this
That
deck,
would be way less balanced though. Because like if 12 random packs, it would literally actually just be good stuff deck. Which I don't agree with you at all. Like I genuinely don't think it was just good stuff deck.
really.
Yeah, I really don't. I never like my round 1 opponent was trying to do that and they just got bodied, right? Like I felt like the archetypes were like super clearly defined, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like some were just
heroic
not
just
good
popped
enough.
off. I lost
right?
to Selesnya. like not a
Yeah.
real archetype, right? Like I got bodied by it, Loki.
That's interesting.
Yeah, they just had a good like I didn't even know that I didn't even see the Selesnya deck building. Like the thought literally didn't cross my mind at all.
I don't know. There was some.
It was
cards
good.
for that. I
Yeah,
mean,
there
it
was like Conclave Mentor.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was some bombs in there, Loki.
I think it was just looking at the signposts. I mean, they were pretty clear if you looked at the 2-color things. I mean, it was like this is what this deck. It was a pre-constructed deck.
Yeah,
and it was cool. If you want to do rock paper scissors, or if you like
it was rock paper scissors. I didn't think it was just good stuff to deck.
And that's what I lost to, and that's what another person on our Discord lost to.
Mm-hmm.
To
the same black, green, blue, just good stuff. Like
there wasn't anything.
I think green was too strong for sure, but
I think green, and then you throw in Coma and Enter the God Eternals, and it's like, I mean, that's a deck. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It just felt like I tried to do something different. Like we tested a lot before we actually played. We like made a day out of it, right?
Yeah.
And like we all recognize that green, black, and blue had like the best cards, especially with green being first. We just try to do something kind of different, just to try to bust the meta or whatever.
Yeah.
And have some fun. But
I ended up playing Mardu, like red, white, black.
Yeah.
And that was like it was pretty good, Loki. Like it was pretty sick, but like if they ever you just had to play around scavenging ooze, right?
Yeah.
That was like the biggest problem with it was like scavenging oozes in the pool.
And I bodied his Mardu pile with my Jeskai heroic pile.
Yeah.
Absolutely bodied.
It was like best. No, I got you.
You did.
I think there may have been a mulligan to 5 and still bodied him, but
but the Jeskai stuff was good, but like I just couldn't quite get that good stuff deck. I was like 1 damage away several times, or like 1 land away. Even if I hit a land, I would have won, but just didn't quite get there. And then in a pool like that, when there is that like level of good stuff, like whether you agree with it or not, when there's that level of good stuff, and then you make like a cookie cutter deck. If the cookie cutter deck doesn't get its stuff going, the good stuff's just gonna body it.
Yeah, you get the better top deck.
Right.
I think the cookie cutter decks are like kind of good though.
They're good if they get their pieces, right? But if they don't get like because there's only one ofs in the whole thing. So if you don't get your one of like 2 or 3 key pieces, like you're just losing to good stuff.
I felt like the Mardu deck, like I had like quite a bit of like there was like more than there's probably like 4 different like reanimation spells.
Yeah.
And then there was probably like 4 to there was it felt like it was like pretty solid though. Like I had like a shit ton of discard, shit ton of like good payoffs.
I thought you only had 3 reanimation spells. You had 4.
No,
yeah, Cruelty of Gix. Cruelty of Gix is the 5th.
Cruelty of Gix, you have the priest, you have the late to dinner, you have blood for whatever.
Yep, and then you have the vampire. She had 5 pieces.
Yeah, and Olivia too, right? Like
yeah.
So like it was like super well supported, but
did you have any enablers to get stuff into the graveyard?
A ton.
Were
genuinely like Cathartic Pyre, Crypt Breaker, like there was like quite a few more.
Was there any card draw or any kind of? I guess
not really.
Yeah.
But
he had like some looting effects.
Yeah, there was like quite a bit of looting, but
okay.
Yeah, it seemed pretty solid. It was working pretty good, but
we did play 1 game. It was a lot of fun to play against each other. I think I had more fun doing that and like
than actually doing it.
Than actually doing it. Yeah. There was a time when Robi was like, "You just dealt with like the most ridiculous stuff with your Jeskai deck," because like he like reanimated like 4 things, like a Cityscape Leveler, a Drakusith, and I just dealt with them all with my like Jeskai aggro deck, and that was like a pretty crazy game. It was fun.
You just had like unsummons. Like
Yep.
but it's like
Exile.
better than like he just had like unsummons. He like I like somehow managed to get like a turn for Olivia, like the vampire, the hasting vampire that reanimates something, into like cities, like bringing back a cityscape leveler, swing it at Ryan for like 12 on turn 4, and he just like unsummons Olivia and it dies. Like my cityscape
The
leveler
leveler
gets
dies.
exiled. I'm like, dang it, that's not fair.
And then he hard cast it 2 turns later and brought back Drakusith, and I just cast out it, and Drakusith got exiled.
Yeah,
Like that.
Yeah, this was definitely one where it seemed like just testing for it was a lot more fun than the actual execution of it.
Yeah, but it was fun. It was all in all, it was worth it. It was worth it to grind the three tokens. Next time I might try to get 7 to get the 2 entries. I think that would be worth it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
I'm just playing like on the draft.
Yeah.
Like, I ended up just going so hard in omniscience draft. Like I'm probably like 30 omniscience drafts.
Yeah, that's fine. They're not that fun.
Yeah, no.
Like I probably trophied like 10 times with it. Just for fun. Yeah, I wish
Yeah.
their pool was better for them. Because
I
like the
wish
first
they-
one I did, I just automatically got 7 wins with. And I don't think I had a pool that good for the rest of the drafts. Like that one was by far the best one.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully they keep doing that.
So next week will be the pre-release for Phyrexia All Will Be One. And so there's some mechanics we just wanted to kind of highlight just before we get into those pre-releases. So we'll start off. This is a card that was just recently spoiled. It's Paladin of Predation, and it's a 5 cost, or it's 7 cost, 5 colors, double green for a 6/7. And it has the keyword toxic. Players dealt combat damage by this creature also get 6 poison counters. So this one has toxic 6. So there's different levels of toxicity on these creatures. So you get a toxic 1, they get 1 poison counter. Toxic 2, they get 2 poison counters. And this guy's also a Phyrexian Knight, and Paladin Predation can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. So this is interesting. It's a different take on Infect. So, if I have a 5/5, it can have toxic 2. They get 2 counters and take 5 damage.
What do poison counters do?
So if poison counters are another win condition of the game. If an opponent has 10 poison counters, 10 or more poison counters, they lose the game. I assume there's ways to get rid of them, but you can put the counters on them and they can be proliferated as well, which is another
So
mechanic.
this is like Infect but bad.
Yeah, like
Way worse, right?
well, it
Well-
like splits it, right?
Yeah, you split the difference. So you get to damage them and you get to give them toxic, which is kind of cool. It's something that the infect creatures really didn't do, because if you're on the infect
But
plan,
splitting the difference is like the bad thing, right? Like that's
Well,
what you don't want to do, right?
well, you never want to split the difference ever.
Yeah. Yeah, like you're either trying to
real
kill them
life.
with the infect or you're not trying to kill them with the infect, right?
Like literally never
Yeah.
split the difference, people.
But I feel like with this guy
No, this is
specifically-
bad. This is bad. I'm gonna call it
Nah.
out right now. This is bad.
I feel like with
Really?
this guy specifically, like toxic 6 and 6 power, like that's the same as infect, basically.
Yeah.
It's pure upside to infect when
Yeah.
their toxicity and power are the same. I'm sure that's not always the case, right?
This is
But-
going to be a lot better, because when the original Phyrexia came out, it was pretty tough to draft. Like you had to go basically all in on infect when you were doing that kind of stuff, and so you
Now-
really got picked into a deck.
Now, when I gain life, can I choose to get rid of poison counters instead
Absolutely
of gaining life?
not.
No.
No.
So
And
the-
like the thing about this too, though, it's like toxic is different than infect, and like infect creatures could like put -1/-1 counters on things, right?
yeah,
Yeah, like this doesn't do that, right?
this is
No.
like fair infect, Roby.
Yeah, so like it's not good, right? Because this was only good because it was super unfair, and you can also like never boost its power, right?
Yeah,
That's
You
what
can-
makes it
but-
fair, right?
but you can proliferate now, right? You couldn't proliferate in the other draft sets that had
Is
infect.
proliferate in this set?
Yeah, proliferates in this
Mhm.
set.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
it's a returning
Then that's
mechanic.
cute.
I guess we could just talk about that one next, right? I forgot to put a card up. We keep saying proliferate, but proliferate, what it does is you can choose any number of counters on the battlefield, and you can add an additional counter of that type. So like if you have 5 creatures with a +1/+1 counter, you can choose all 5 of those, and they get an additional one. And you can also choose a planeswalker to give an extra loyalty counter to, or your opponent to give an extra poison counter to, or
Or your
negative one
opponent's
negative.
creature, yeah. Give them negative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or oil counters, which are another thing.
Oil.
So
Or energy from Kaladesh.
well, that's a counter?
Yes, it is. Those are energy counters. Yep.
Wow.
Proliferate boosts those.
That's
Yep.
cool.
Mhm.
But yeah, lots of stuff you can just put random counters on vanishing counters. Like
Yeah, it's silly.
Infinity
It's like a really weird mechanic.
Yep. But that's another mechanic in the sets proliferate. And I think like you might there will be a time probably in this format if you played enough where you're gonna get hit by one toxic guy and you're just gonna get proliferated to death and there's nothing you can do about it. And whether that's fun or not, we'll see. But already sounds pretty fun. What do we got for our next mechanic, Robi?
I don't know. So the card we have is I'm reading these for the first time too. Okay, so the Seed Core, which is a land, it's a sphere. I don't know what that means. It taps for color or any color to cast Phyrexian creature spells. And then it has Corrupted, which means target one creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Activate only if an opponent has 3 or more poison counters. So I'm assuming Corrupted is like an ability that you can only activate if your opponent has 3 or more poison counters, right?
Yep, that's exactly what it is.
So you turn a 1/1 into a 3/2.
Yep, with this
Yeah.
land, right? But there's just a
Yeah.
lot of other corrupted things that do just random different stuff. Some of them get more stats, some of them get an extra activated ability. As long as your opponent has 3 or more poison counters. So it seems like a lot of these decks are going to want to try to put at least 3 poison counters on someone.
Oh man, that's pretty cool. Little reverse Pendlehaven there. That's cool.
I don't know what that is.
Me neither.
Oh, really? Oh, God,
You could
No,
literally
no.
have said a made up word, and I'd be like,
Yeah,
oh,
well,
well, you know, Pendlehaven,
Ryan will
classic
act like
from
he knows what
Legends.
you're talking about. I just will be like, I don't know.
Yeah. It's a classic card from Legends. It taps to 1 green. You can tap it for green, or you can tap it and give a 1/1 creature +1/+2. So it's reverse of that. It's kind of cool.
Yeah, the Seed Core.
There you go.
Oh yeah.
There you go. Look at that. Pendlehaven. There you go.
Yeah.
It was in Time Spiral Remastered as well.
Did they play that in Elves, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
I actually
Yeah, I
played it
know
when it
that
was in
stuff.
Standard. Then they shifted it. It was pretty fun. It was good. Just
Yeah,
one of.
but the Seed Core, it's a
Yeah.
sphere. The mechanic we need to look out for is Sphere Lands.
Yeah.
I think that's a recurring thing. I need a common Cyclosphere Lands.
we'll see. Maybe if
Like
you're-
deserts from
There you go.
from Amonkhet.
There you go.
Yep. What do we got
Alrighty.
next? Andrew or Ryan?
No, it's Andrew. I did proliferate, right?
Oh, okay. All right. So then we have another one coming up here. It's the Blade of Sharded Souls. It's a 3-cost artifact equipment, and it's a 2 colorless and a blue mana, and it has the new mechanic of 4 Mirrodin. When this equipment enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 red rebel creature token attached to this, so it comes into play with this already on it. And that's kind of the mechanic, is the 4 Mirrodin mechanic. And then the blade itself, whenever the Blade of Sharded Souls becomes attached to a creature, for as long as the Blade of Sharded Souls remains attached to it, you may have that creature become a copy of another creature you control. And then it also has equip 2. So we've seen something like this in Phyrexia. Was it New Phyrexia? It was living weapon, and it made like a 0/0 germ, and then the equipment would come with the 0/0 germ token. So this is kind of an interesting take on that, except you get a 2/2 rebel token.
Yeah. This
This is a bomb. This is a disgusting.
yeah.
thing.
This card is disgusting. This mechanic is disgusting. Like
Yeah.
these
Yeah.
cards are going to be good.
Yeah. These are gonna body their crappy 6/6 infectors. Can be
Can't be
done, but-
blocked. Can't be blocked by creatures with power 2.
Oh yeah. But like, is your creature that you're attaching Blade of Shared Souls to really gonna be a 2/2?
probably not. Probably
For
not.
sure not.
It is sick that you can just like kind of copy stuff on demand for 2, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's sick. That's so tight.
that's pretty good.
low-key.
yeah. This seems like a card that might gain some traction in other formats. Honestly, like
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll have some weird uses. That
You'll just be
weird.
venturing into the dungeon.
Venture
What's
into
that?
the
What's that? You'll have like quadruple initiative.
There you go.
Yeah. Or even just have like another Sky Strike officer. Why not?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it's stupid.
seems good. And then the last mechanic is oil counters.
Ooh.
We'll start with this card. It's Brass Forge. It's 2 mana and a red for an artifact. At the beginning of combat on your turn, put an oil counter on Brass Forge, and then create an X1 red Phyrexian Horror creature token with trample and haste, where X is the number of oil counters on the forge. Sacrifice that token at the beginning of the next end step. So oil counters are just like little counters that are on random things, and depending on what they're on, they do different things. Like some of them are used kind of like vanishing counters, which is like when all the oil counters are gone, it dies. Some of them are used like activate abilities or give different stuff. So
it's like energy from Kaladesh.
yeah, sure. Right, like
The
it's
best
just like
mechanic ever made.
so another mechanic that makes proliferate good.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
3 out of the 4 mechanics, or 3 out of the 5 mechanics, make proliferate good, and one of those 5 is proliferate. So
There you go.
that's 4 out of 5 mechanics where you want to be adding counters.
Yeah, this card seems stupid.
Yeah, making a 1/1, then a 2/1, then a 3/1, then a 4/1, then a 5/1.
It's like eventually that will kill someone. Right?
Yeah, like eventually there's nothing they can do. But
yeah.
So oil counters is just another counter, and that's just something you can proliferate. So remember that.
Wow. Seems good.
I'm excited. When I was younger, I did do some drafts with new Phyrexia, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
It was good
I'm
stuff.
excited to get back into it.
It's good back. Oh, actually, one thing that we did leave off is Phyrexian mana as well.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
Because that's back, baby.
Is there any
Games
like
live.
1 mana spell? Did they reprint? What's that one? Gataxian
Remember?
stuff. We
Oh,
need
yeah.
Gataxian Probe reprinted. Like, it's only fair. Like for sure. We need Gataxian Probe in standard.
Mental
Like,
misstep.
I would like your
What
mental
is
misstep would be
Oh yeah, mental misstep. Yeah. Gataxian Probe is this base 0 mana draw card, right?
good. You have to look at their hand.
Look at their hand too. Like that doesn't even matter. It's just like
All for the low price of 2 life.
2 life. Yeah, it's
So
free.
Phyrexian mana, you can either pay the color of the card. So if it was a blue mana, underneath there, you'll see a little Phyrexian symbol there. So you can either pay the mana or you can pay 2 life instead.
Yeah, it's like your 8th copy of Street Wraith.
Yeah. But it's better because you get to see their hand too, right? Like it's strictly
Right.
better Street Wraith.
Well, it can't be a 3/4 swamp walk.
Oh yeah, it
Well,
doesn't have Gataxian Probe doesn't have swamp walk, right?
You need to chill out with that. Strictly better.
That's hilarious.
They did make minor misstep, which is 1 mana and you can counter target spell with mana value 1 or less. So like a little homage to mental misstep.
Oh wow. It costs Phyrexian mana?
No, it costs real mana. Yeah, because with Phyrexian mana it would just be mental misstep, right? Like it would just be the same. Funny story about mental misstep. So it's Phyrexian mana, counter target spell with 1 or less, right? Turn 1. Me and my buddy did some like building in standard back when this was legal. The new Phyrexia. Turn 1, he plays Llanowar Elf. Dude counters it with mental misstep. There was a card called Summoning Pack or Summoner's Trap.
Yes.
And if a card gets countered, you can pay 0 instead of paying the cost for this card. So you pay 0, and you get to look at the top 6 cards of your library, put one of them into the battlefield, a creature. Emrakul. Before the other dude even got a turn. Emrakul on the battlefield, turn 1. The dude was like, if you want to do stuff like that, why don't you just go play Yu-Gi-Oh?
Seems pretty good.
Yeah, that was one of my favorite Magic memories. Like me and him worked so hard building that deck. Like week after week, we take it back, like try to fix it. It was like it wasn't a meta deck or anything, but
Mental Misstep is a stupid card for sure.
yeah.
Like it destroys formats. It's like banned in Modern and like it's even banned in like Legacy, right?
I don't know. It might be.
It is banned in Legacy for sure.
Mutagenic growth, like Phyrexian green +2/+2.
Anything with Phyrexian mana that costs like 1 mana is disgustingly broken. I wonder if they're gonna learn from that. We haven't seen all the spoilers yet, but I hope they didn't.
Anything with Phyrexian mana is just basically colorless when you're drafting, right? Like,
yeah,
if it's good enough, you're gonna take it.
What's the other one? The one
the red one that did like 1 damage.
The black one that destroys creature.
Dismember.
Yeah.
Although it did cost
5,
1 mana.
-5. Yeah.
It costs 1 mana, right? But
one
it was double
and double
black Phyrexian. And like every deck ever just had that in the sideboard. Like mono
pretty
blue
good.
deck to play it, right? Like
I saw like an unofficial like leak, not a spoiler, that had a dismember in it. That might
Ooh.
be
ooh.
I think it might have been in Commander.
Ooh.
maybe,
This
but
member is
like,
not that broken. Like it's not
Yeah,
like mental
'cause-
misstep or attacks.
It's pretty
it
good.
it is the best removal in the format in any format that's in for draft, right? Like
Yeah.
Yes.
100%.
1 mana and 4 life, you can just -5/-5 something, which is
Good
Yes.
old green white getting hard removal, or green blue
Yeah.
getting hard removal. Actually,
Yeah.
yeah.
Blue, right?
Yeah,
mono
it's
blue
very
card
spickable
removal.
because you just shove it in anything because it costs 1 colorless and 4 life.
My home removal is pickable. That was those are bad sets. Yep.
Not dismember though, because it's like colorless removal for 1.
Yep.
I don't know.
It's boring though.
All right.
Alrighty.
Do we want to talk about the archetypes or not?
We
Just
can't.
tell them what they are. All I
yeah,
have is
you
a list
do
of
it.
what
You
they
do
are.
it.
Okay,
You
just
do
to
it.
get you guys prepped for our pre-release season, because next week we're going to start coming out with our ratings for every card and all that. I think all the cards are officially spoiled on Thursday, so we'll get to work on that. Thursday night into Friday. Start posting those videos. We wanted to talk a little bit about the archetypes. We're obviously not sure what's all going to be in them yet because all the cards aren't spoiled. But starting off with white, blue, artifact control.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
that's
artifact
what I wanna do.
control, white, blue. Yeah. Blue, black, corrupted. So that's that mechanic we were talking about where they need to get at least 3 poison counters on it. Seems like that'll be some weird synergy. And then you got black, red, sacrifice with artifacts and creatures.
There you go.
Oh,
Yeah. Red,
Alright.
green oil counters. Green, white, go wide synergies and toxic. That kind of seems like a bridge thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so you just get your guys going and then you toxic them up. Maybe there's going to be
Yeah.
something that gives toxic, like as a spell or something that'd be kind of fun. So you just swarm them and toxic them to death.
I know like a lot of some of the stuff I saw is like if you're corrupted or whatever, or you can give your guys a toxic death touch, or you can give your guys a toxic life link or whatever.
Oh,
But,
All right. Well, we got
white,
next?
white, black, toxic and corrupted synergy. So maybe green, white, and white, black go together.
Man, I don't know about that. I always feel like
probably
those
a
missions
fake thing.
is always, yeah.
That's all I care about.
Blue, red, instant and sorcery matters, but with oil counters.
Oh yeah, cool.
Little changing it up on that one.
That was all kind of spicing it up.
Black, green, toxic, and reanimation synergies.
Okay.
Red, white, aggro equipment, which doesn't really go together, but with Formirrid in it probably can.
yeah.
And
Yeah, I mean,
then-
just get dudes, all your dudes are equipments, and then you just
Yeah.
Voltron up somebody at the end. That's pretty
Right.
good.
yeah, that seems fine.
Yeah.
And then green, blue, stompy, toxic, and ramp.
That's just
That's like 3
mission.
things.
I
Green blue is
feel like they're
the-
capping on that last one.
Yeah.
Why do
They
they
just
always do that?
needed something to put on it.
Every time they just never know what to do with that. There's like, well, you put the ramp creatures there, and then you just draw a bunch of cards and do stuff. You'll
make
figure
it
it out, right?
Just make it flyers with giant growths next time. Green, blue. Flyers
Nobody
and giant
wants-
growths.
I guess the secret is that nobody wants green blue to actually be good, right? Like,
yeah.
What was the last that green blue was good? Strixhaven?
Yeah.
Probably
but you had
Strixhaven.
you splashed red, right?
yeah,
You didn't
had
have
to.
to. It was still disgustingly good by itself. Like they had like the best uncommons and commons. There was like field trip, right? Like that was so stupid.
It was pretty good in Throne if you opened to Oko.
Yeah.
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 Oko.
Some
But
would
that's
say
it.
unbeatable.
Yeah. Some would say unbeatable.
I need some Okos in my day. I need Okos.
I think I remember
I said
playing.
some.
Yeah, there was one I was
Not
playing
me.
in. What was it? Midnight Hunt, I think it was. I had that really weird.
Oh
just
yeah,
a bunch
Green
of
Blue was fine in Midnight Hunt.
I
Yeah.
was able to make the farmers
Yeah, but like
work.
the best, right?
It wasn't the best, but it was a good like fringe. Like it wasn't unplayable as it's been in some of these other sets, where it's like you can have the most. I think I remember Ryan having like the most insane green blue deck I'd seen, and I think it was Bro or something like that, and it still wasn't good enough to just like get over the hump.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was insane.
Yeah, it was. Because I was like, if this deck's not good, then
Yeah.
Green Blue is just not playable. 'Cause
Yeah.
I was unconvinced
Yeah.
Green Blue in like a 10-man pod.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah.
terrible too.
It was 2-1.
try-
But yeah.
It was
You
a
try to make
2-1.
it too aggro. You
It
try to
looked
play
like
those decks too aggro. You literally try to play green blue like giant growth and flyers, right?
I think that's the correct way to play it in this format
Yeah,
now, but that's not what I played in that one.
Nah, he's playing big
I was
prototype
playing big
dudes.
boys. Yeah.
Yeah,
Boys.
prototype's bad.
Prototype's good.
It
There's
was the
some of
most
the-
insane deck I'd seen of that. So, that was saying something that it still went doing one in a good pilot's
Yeah.
hands too. So,
Yeah. Are you guys gonna miss Brothers?
yep.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm not gonna miss Unearth.
I'm gonna
I'm
miss
over it.
every single card in this set.
I'm making a vow to all
You'll
the
play with every
listeners.
card in this Andrew, you only play with the bad green black ones.
I mean, let's see those results on
Or
those
Worm
alpha
Coil
weeks.
Engine. Worm Coil.
Let's see
Yeah.
those alpha
Coil
weeks. Let's see those alpha weeks.
Yeah.
Yep. That's never gonna happen again. So enjoy it while it lasts. But I promise you, dear listeners, without a drastic change, it will never happen again.
It's been a while since I ran roughshod over a whole format, but it
Yeah.
was good. I'm gonna miss it.
Yeah, it was fine. What was your favorite set of the year if you had to take all four of them?
Streets.
What?
Oh man,
Loser.
it was Champions of Cup.
Obviously, Dominaria Remastered.
Really?
I mean, not Remastered, Dominaria.
United.
United?
The
Oh,
first
no.
one.
Oh no, it was
I don't know. Mantle
I-
Chaplain kind of ruined that.
Neo.
Kamigawa, yeah. Kamigawa was probably my favorite. Dominaria was
Not
second.
Streets. I'll just say
Streets was
Streets. I like Streets.
Streets was second for me. I love Streets. It's just nobody wanted to
I
draft
did.
it after.
We
a
just
while.
had too long with it, right?
I loved it.
That was a real problem with it, and it was just aggressively broken too. There was 2 decks you could play. I kind of like the formats like that though.
What kind of
I
flavor
say
of-
this all the time, but I love the there's only one archetype you can play if you actually want to win. I
Oh my
kind of
God.
like those formats.
It was good.
Robi always loves the literal worst formats.
AFR,
Yeah, terrible.
God tier.
Oh man.
I was
You like
menaced in that format.
Ugh, jeez.
I love
was always
AFR.
Fun fact, I almost quit playing Magic because of AFR.
One.
I like
I had a buddy that's like, I really want to go and get all the D&D cards. I'm into D&D. It's like, all right, I'll go with you. And he wanted to go every week, which was cool. And then eventually I was just like, dude, I just can't go to AFR drafts anymore. It's literally terrible.
Oh man. All I want to do is just play some Crimson Vow again. That was such a good
AFR.
format. That was the
Yeah,
best.
bro. That's the
Oh man.
best.
Crimson Vow was my best worst.
I bet you could get a box of AFR for $70.
So Crimson Vow for
doubt
$70.
Yeah, Crimson Voucher. That's a
I bet you could get a box of Crimson Vow for $50.
Midnight Hunt, baby.
Midnight has sick. I
That
do
was
love
good,
Midnight
man,
Hunt.
Yeah, but nah, it was Neo for me, man. That was so fun. There were so many viable just archetypes in there.
I remember there was 2 drafts in Neo where I was like, oh my god, I just have the nuts. I have the best
Yeah.
deck you could be. I have 4 Blossom Prancers. That happened.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Deck was
I
terrible.
bought
That was
you.
terrible. It was
Yeah,
terrible.
Boston Princer was a lie.
No, it was
Boston
good.
Princer is like a boomer card like Spiritmonger.
No,
where
Boston
everyone
Princer's
tells you it's so good.
It's
But,
like a
in
better
reality-
organ hoarder.
Yeah,
No.
it was good. It was good.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
really
This is
good.
absolutely not true.
You know how to harness its power correctly, I think you remember I built this 5-color deck where I had the Blossom Prancer and just stomped all over everybody that week. That was pretty
Remember
good.
another one where I had literally 5 virus beetles. And that
Oh my
deck also
God.
didn't win. I was just
Yeah.
I was just
remember you-
leaning too hard on only the good cards and just sacrificing the rest of my decks.
I just remember you going in there and say, guys, I solved the format. I think blue red go wide is white
Red,
blue
white.
or white red
Red,
go wide is
white,
the way to
go.
go. And we all laughed, and then he bodied us.
yeah.
It's just like
Yeah. You guys oh, he's trolling because that's literally not a deck anyone here has ever played.
yeah.
I was like, it's cool. I'll
About
show
to
you the
go
way.
3-0.
I
About
will
to
show
finish
you the
my round.
way. I'll
about
take
to
all the
finish my round in 5 minutes.
scraps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
give me a scraps.
Take all the scraps that nobody wants, and I'll just turn it into this beautiful
Just-
thing.
First pick Imperial Oaths and just go for it.
Yep.
So good. That was nice. It was so cool when people didn't know about Imperial Oath and you could just kind
Yeah.
of sneak it in there. And then it was like, oh no, now we gotta first pick it. It was like pick on site. Just no matter
Yeah.
what colors you were in, you were splashing it because it was that good. Oh man.
I
Neo
don't think
was super
anyone looked at it and thought it was going to be a good card. Then
We
the
were
first
wrong
time you
about
got beat by it, you're like kind of mad. You're like, oh god, I just got beat by like garbage, right?
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
the second or third time you got beat by it, you're like, okay,
When
this
people
card's like
start chain
dumb.
casting it, then you're like, oh, this card's insane. Oh man, you should have seen my Neo draft for I think it was for the Decathlon. I had 4 Imperial Oaths, and then the green guy who can bring back cards from your graveyard. I cast like 6. I cast
The
6
whatever
Imperial
it's
Oaths.
called. I know.
Shigeki.
Shigeki. Yeah.
Yeah, I cast 6 Imperial Oaths that game, and my opponent just conceded. And actually, my only way to win was with the. I had the. What was it? The shrines. I had 3 shrines, and I had the mill shrine, so I was just milling him because he had like 50 life or something like that. It was so good. I wish I recorded
I-
that game.
I do dearly miss Colossal Sky Turtle. that might be like my favorite card of the past like 10 years of Magic.
Yeah, green blue was good in Neo.
The Dirtle expert
Yeah.
liking the Dirtle.
Oh my
Turtle.
gosh, Colossal Sky Turtle is my
Yep.
boy. You know they play that in Modern. They legit play. They played in Living Index.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah, it's amazing. I
Because
love
it's
it.
like sometimes better than cycling, I guess. right?
Yeah, because it's like bounce, right? Like it's like
Yeah.
2-mana bounce. Like it's like as good as what's the Brazen Borrower?
Yeah.
Because you actually put it in your graveyard. So
Yeah.
like you can hit it off Living End, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And you
so
can,
that's
or
awesome.
it's 3 mana, get something back if you need it. Yeah.
Yeah.
that's-
Get back your Living End. Yeah.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it's disgusting.
Oh,
Or just
man.
whatever like other spell you needed to deal with stuff.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yep. Shout out to Living End.
Well, I'm
Paris
excited
Magic
for a new
forever.
format. It'll be good. It'll be good to see what
Yep.
taking it back to
I'm
Phyrexia will
over.
be.
I'm not completely over Brothers War.
I'm
but
not. I could go. I could draft it
I could
all. I
go
could
a
draft
little
some
bit
more of that.
longer.
Give me some more of that.
Yeah,
I'm in.
we need to cop a couple boxes for sure.
I haven't
Yeah,
got
that'd
to peak yet. I feel like I peaked the last week of Dominaria. I just bodied everyone aggressively,
Oh,
but yeah. Yep.
Yep. Well, we'll see you guys next week. We'll be posting a lot of videos for the set review. So make sure you
Yeah.
check them out.
All
Sounds good.
will be one.
We'll catch y'all boys on the
Alrighty.
flippity flop.
Bye.
Bye.